Get into it
Oh,
here.
yeah.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the SaaS Pulse Show. My name is Michael Bertoni, and I'm the founder and CEO of SaaS Talent. It is unbelievable to be here today. We have an amazing Philly founder. He actually is co-founder, chief product and tech officer at Lula, right? I'm saying that right, Lula, right?
Yes.
He's been in business for almost 4 years. Love talking to Philly founders. It's phenomenal. So great to have you here, Tom.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. I'm honored to be here and dive in.
Yeah. So Tom Falzani, I guess that is a nice Italian name, like myself. Bertoni. Sounds like a great law firm, Bertoni and Falzani.
Yeah, we'll
So
get a
yeah, it's great to have you here, man. So yeah, let's dive right into it.
yep.
So, love to hear the superhero backstory. And you were telling me about it a little earlier in when we were pre-gaming. But what's the journey that got you here? So, the journey that got you to Lula. I saw you had a design agency, which seems like you still have. But how did you get to Lula? What's the journey that got you your superhero backstory?
Yeah, yeah. Happy to go way back and even pre-Lula. I mentioned earlier, co-founder Adi Gupta and I, we both actually went to Drexel University here in Philly, and so
Nice.
homegrown. Grew up in South Jersey, so not too far from home. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so we were always buddies. We actually started a past venture. And we were always thinking of new things. We started the blockchain club together at Drexel, and that's still going on today. So yeah, always worked really well together, and great friend and business partner. And yeah, he was in the software engineering program, computer science program at Drexel. I was more on the graphic design side, then took up some studies in the software engineering, and
Mhm.
that's when we crossed paths and um, really kicked it off from there. And then fast forwarding a bit, when we both graduated was not a great time to graduate. It was during the pandemic of 2020. So my graduation just ended up being rolling credits on the screen. So
Nice. Nice.
for 30 seconds, but hey, I made it. So I was happy and content with what I had. Yeah, and then COVID hit. And Ada's parents actually owned a convenience store, and
Mm,
it was operated, and we um we saw a problem firsthand of when foot traffic came to a halt. Delivery exploded, right? You have tons of companies out there already, from Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, GoPuff. It was booming, and unfortunately there was no easy in or mechanism or tool for any retailer, small or large, to quickly get in on that. It would
right.
take months or years even to get started on that. And so, we built the first version from the ground up, and what that was, to keep it simple, is just connected to their inventory and uploaded it to all of the delivery channels, DoorDash, GoPuff, and Uber Eats, and then gave them one place to manage it all. Um, and so that's really where the idea struck and kind of took off, and how Lula was born. And then obviously, mentioned we started to work a little bit more upstream with some bigger brands and larger convenience store chains and enterprise customers. And um, the product has certainly evolved since into more of a digital commerce transformation tool. And happy to dive in a bit on that as needed.
Yeah, super impressive. I mean, I could just tell that the market, you just right place, right time. Let's build a product. Let's get this going. I'd love to learn more about the platform itself, right? So you again, for everybody listening, convenience stores. Now he's going upstream to more larger convenience stores. But tell me about this platform. Like, so why Lula? I'm sure there's other platforms out there that do this. Why? Why should you work with you guys?
Certainly. Yeah, and to be candid, there are similar platforms out there. A lot of them come from the restaurant space, actually, and so the term that you'll often hear if you're retail or restaurant operator is delivery aggregation. So that's kind of a word that's been out there already, and they'll get your delivery services connected all in one spot. Where Lula really comes in and accelerates and helps any retailer across the nation is we are the digital commerce transformation platform. And so you get a suite of products and you go through a journey with Lula rather than just getting a platform and being left alone. We kind of handhold you through the whole journey from setting you up on all the delivery platforms, making sure you're successful on them, generating revenue, and then evolving through our suite of products from third-party aggregation to first-party delivery, where you have your own branded website and
Hmm.
an ordering platform, and more insight to customer data. And then you start to get into customer loyalty, gift cards and reward programs and stuff like that. And so it's it's less of a single product and more of a transformation and journey that we bring these retailers through nowadays.
Nice, nice. So did you say you integrate a loyalty? So you get loyalty and points and things like that. That's in your platform as well?
Yep, yep. So there's a variety of tools that pre-exist out there. So
Hmm.
we'll build some integrations. We do have our own out-of-the-box solution for it as well. So I think that's one of the another, benefit of our platform is, we can provide it or, we'll integrate nicely with the tools that are out there already. So,
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I don't know if you know, you probably know Ned Moore. I don't know if you know Ned Moore from
yep,
Clutch.
yep,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because yeah, they're a client and like I know they do loyalty. So I know the
yeah,
space. I know the space a little bit. But no,
awesome. Good
that's
guy.
really cool. So I mean, I see your platform really. I mean, it's must you must have been growing. Tell me how that's been going over the last few years. I mean, so how's your growth been? I know that's not a question I put in here, but I'm thinking you've been growing tremendously. What's that been like? Like, so tell us about that journey a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. Yeah, so we started with our home roots, the mom and pop and smaller independently owned convenience stores, and we still love to work with them, and certainly they're a big chunk of our customers nowadays. But as we started to get a little more acclimated with the space, make more partnerships, we just formed a partnership with PDI Enterprise, Coremark
Mm,
International, who's a distributor, as their preferred tech partner. We
nice.
started to get a little more familiar with the enterprise side of things. So you have really three segments that we've coined is your SMB. So that's, anywhere from like 1 to 10 stores. And then you have your mid markets where that's like 10 all the way up to 100. And then you have your more enterprise, 100 to 500. And then you have your juggernauts, which are like the 7-Elevens, they're huge and have thousands of stores worldwide. But where our sweet spot really lays is those mid markets and smaller enterprise guys, and
Mm,
work with a handful of them nowadays. So, Clipper Petroleum has been an incredible success story on our platform. They actually only launched a month and a half ago, and they've already generated $10,000 in revenue. And that's only on the third party aspect. Again, I mentioned we're bringing them through this whole journey
mhm.
of third party delivery, first party delivery, store locators on your website. And so we're really just scratching the surface with them. So we're really
Nice.
excited.
What was the
They
name of them? Something Petroleum.
Clipper Petroleum. Yeah.
Nice,
I actually just met with their team at the Core invited us out to their expo in Atlanta last week, and
nice.
they were there. They're Atlanta based, and I just made a LinkedIn post. So uh, all very new and exciting. But yeah, so Clippers won. Worked really closely with Jackson's Food Mart. They're on the West Coast, more in Idaho and Washington State. Um, Again, another huge success story, amazing customer to work with. They've been super collaborative and a really fun group. So they've been performing really well. So yeah, I think both small, large customers we work with, but that's
Yeah,
really
no,
been.
it's great. I mean, are you in a sense the owner or the large, like, or is there anyone else that's really in this, so SMB, mid-market, convenience store? I mean, are there a lot of competitors in this space? I mean, I feel like I don't see them if they're out there, but are there a lot of competitors doing this?
Yeah, I mean, there's no one out there that will really hold your hand through the whole process and really care about your success. So
Hmm,
actually one of our core values is customer obsession.
I love it.
Uh, and every single person on our team really lives by that. We have an incredible account management team, customer support team, and then we even encourage our like product and tech team to, get out in the field and talk to customers firsthand and just be obsessed. And what that allows us to do is again make sure they're successful on all of the delivery platforms and make
Mhm.
sure they're generating revenue, trying new programs from combos to promotions and marketing, analyzing the customer data with them to run these promotions and stuff like that. So again, it's not just we're giving you this platform and we'll leave you alone. We're going to give you this platform, this suite of tools, and help you build and evolve.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom, I got to tell you, whenever I talk to a founder like you, I mean, like, I don't know how old you are, but like, I just turned 50, like we talked about. You seem so mature for your, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I'm like, gosh, this guy sounds like he's like in his 40s, but because I was just telling somebody the other day, like, I didn't really figure out exactly what I wanted to do till probably a few years ago. So, so now I'm like, now I got it. I'm like, work with SaaS companies, but no, so power, power off to you. I mean, so appreciate it, man. You sound really amazing.
Thanks,
So,
man.
so in terms of your challenges, right? So you've been on like almost a 4-year journey through COVID, right? I'm sure through COVID it was like explosion, and now you're trying to become more of a platform, grow. So, what have been the challenge? What have been, say, the top 2 or 3 biggest challenges, and then how did you overcome them?
Yeah, phenomenal question. And the part of the startup life is just facing challenges every day and just getting acclimated to that, like something's going to pop up all the time. But I think it's a great question because you ask, how do you overcome it whenever they pop up? And I think initially what, and I'm sure a lot of founders can relate, is going from 0 to 100 and really getting that first group of loyal customers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was from the get-go, again, a big challenge. I think what was really eye-opening there was focusing on our ICP, ideal customer profile. And again, I mentioned, it's that mid-market. Um, and so I know this was probably something you might bring up, but the advice and what we've figured out is you don't want to cast your net too far, right? You don't want to try to grab every single person in the specific industry and even beyond, if you're trying to go into different verticals, that might even be tough as well. So
Right.
um what was pivotal in that aspect was just focus in on the ICP and really start to build the tools and solutions for that person. And then once you perfected it, start to go to other maybe it's different segments within your industry or even new verticals. Example for us would be going from like convenience to restaurant or more advanced retail like a Walmart.
Right.
But
Right. So you're
we're
like,
just focusing.
I totally get it. So you're focused on an ISP, you're delighting customer, and then okay, we got to get into another type of customer here, like quickly to grow.
Mhm.
So that's great. I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I mean, just add value to my ICP, right? That's like so get in front of my ICP. Same
Mhm.
exact thing. So how do you approach talent, talent acquisition, culture, recruiting? How do you approach this for your organization?
Yeah, it's I think a lot of it comes down to surrounding yourself with like-minded people and being able to share a vision of the company and it just clicking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, from the very beginning, Audit and I, we were always obsessed with just building an awesome culture and making sure everyone enjoys what they're doing, who they're working with, and that leads me to another like one of our core values is just transparency, right? It sounds simple, but it's like from the very start, whenever we're bringing someone on a team, we're very transparent. Um, I mentioned earlier, startup life is hectic and there's challenges and fires every day, right? So, we like to be honest about that from the start, and things change quickly and rapidly, and but it's all fun, you gotta have fun while you're doing it. But yeah, I mean, I guess like with all that said, it's just being transparent, sharing the vision, getting people excited, and we've been very grateful with our team right now, and love working with everyone from our account management team, product team, support team, all the above. Um, yeah, we have really awesome people from in the convenience store industry, from other verticals, from the restaurant space, and so that's always cool to meet new people in different spaces.
That's awesome. I mean, again, I'm going to reiterate your maturity seems beyond your years. One of the things that I'm noticing is having a company like TF Designs, because I saw TF Designs was 7.6 years. That probably helped you, right? I mean, like, so if you're going to start, because we're getting to advice, like the best two or three pieces of advice, like a couple founders that I've talked to, it's like learn how to do business stuff. I mean, so you did TF Designs and then you knew how to do business. You had like 20 customers, right? And then you're like, all right, okay, we want to do this thing that we're passionate about. Let's do it, right? So
Yeah.
this kind of brings me into my last question is advice. What's your biggest two or three piece of advice that you could give other startup founders, other people that are like you, maybe a little less years, a little more years even. What's that look like?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple things there. So I guess to your first point, there the TF design, and I mentioned, Audit and I always tinkered around with past ventures and trying to start new things, clubs, other companies. And so I guess first piece of advice there is just build things, try things out. Don't be scared, like just get into it, launch it, and probably won't work out, likely won't work out, but you learn a ton.
Right.
You do something for a few months and it doesn't work out, you come out with a ton of learnings. And even to this day, like at Lula, you know, not everything is perfect. We're continuing to learn and evolve. So I guess just being open to trying new things, and just starting something, start a club, start a company. Get it first step, just get the LLC, right? Just
Right.
uh do something, get it off the ground, and then yeah, it really just takes off from there. And then TF design, and actually it was funny. The Our first round of funding was really and I just building websites for different types of people, not even just convenience stores, for anyone and everyone. And we were able to get some cash to bootstrap.
Exactly.
Um,
Great.
and yeah, so like just by starting stuff, we learned how to do stuff like that, and we were able to bootstrap our first successful company, which is Lula now. And then other piece of advice, I mean, like again, I mentioned startup life can be hectic. You got to be comfortable with all of the fires and little things that pop up, that little challenges that pop up at a startup, and just getting acclimated. Like if you let those little things knock you down, it's going to be a struggle because it's just going to get harder and harder. Like you don't want to sugarcoat it, right? Startups having a startup is great. You have a lot of fun, you meet a lot of awesome people, you learn a lot. But it's a challenge for sure. And so you want to be the piece of advice there is like be comfortable with all the small things that pop up here and there, bad customer call. While you learn from it, sometimes you just gotta brush it off and look at the bigger challenges ahead. So
Absolutely.
um,
So Tom, this has been great. So thanks a lot for coming in. So again, Tom Falzani, co-founder, chief product and tech officer, right, of Lula. So thanks a lot for coming in, and we'll quickly debrief here in a second. So stay on. But it was great having you on the show. Thanks for joining.
yeah, thanks, Michael. It was a pleasure being here.
Cool. Take care, everyone.